Charlemagne, Charles the Great, was a pivotal figure in European history, born on April 2, 747, likely in what is now Belgium. He was the son of Pepin the Short, king of the Franks, and Bertrada of Laon. Charlemagne became one of the most important rulers of the early Middle Ages, laying the foundation for the Holy Roman Empire, and playing a critical role in shaping the political and cultural landscape of medieval Europe. Charlemagne was part of the Carolingian dynasty, which came to power after his father, Pepin the Short, deposed the last Merovingian king in 751. After Pepin's death in 768, the Frankish kingdom was divided between Charlemagne and his younger brother, Carloman. The brothers' relationship was tense, but Carloman's sudden death in 771 left Charlemagne as the sole ruler of the Franks. As king, Charlemagne embarked on an ambitious series of military campaigns aimed at expanding his realm. One of his most significant conquests was the defeat of the Lombards in Italy in 774, where he took the title of King of the Lombards, thus securing his control over northern Italy. Charlemagne also conducted numerous campaigns against the Saxons, a pagan Germanic tribe, in a series of brutal wars that lasted over 3 decades. These campaigns were not only territorial, but also religious, as Charlemagne sought to Christianize the conquered regions. The Saxon Wars culminated in the massacre of Verdun in 782, where thousands of Saxon prisoners were executed for resisting conversion to Christianity. In the east, Charlemagne waged wars against the Avars and the Slavs, consolidating his authority over Central Europe. His military successes greatly expanded the Frankish kingdom, which by the end of his reign stretched from the Pyrenees in the west to the Danube River in the east, and from northern Spain to the North Sea. Charlemagne was deeply committed to the Christian faith and worked closely with the papacy to promote Christianity throughout his empire. His alliance with the Church was solidified in 800, when Pope Leo III crowned him Emperor of the Romans during a Christmas Day ceremony in St. Peter's Basilica in Rome. This event marked the revival of the Roman imperial tradition in the West and laid the groundwork for the Holy Roman Empire. In addition to his military achievements, Charlemagne is remembered for his role in the Carolingian Renaissance, a period of cultural revival and intellectual renewal. He sought to improve the literacy and education of his subjects and established schools in monasteries and cathedrals. Scholars from across Europe, including the famous Anglo-Saxon monk Alcuin of York, were invited to Charlemagne's court to teach and advise him. The emperor himself, though not literate in his early years, made efforts to learn to read and write in his later life. Under Charlemagne's rule, important works of classical literature were preserved, and new religious and scholarly texts were produced. He also reformed the administrative system, introducing a network of royal officials known as missi dominici, who ensured that his laws were followed throughout the empire. Charlemagne married at least 4 times and had numerous concubines, fathering around 18 children. His marriages were often political, aimed at securing alliances with neighboring powers. His first wife, Himiltrude, bore him his son Pepin the Hunchback, but their relationship ended, likely because of political reasons. He later married Desiderata, the daughter of the Lombard king, but soon annulled the marriage. His third wife, Hildegard, was the mother of many of his children, including his successor Louis the Pious. After Hildegard's death, Charlemagne married Fastrada and later Luitgard. Charlemagne was known to have a strong bond with his family, and he ensured that his sons were well educated and involved in the governance of the empire. Charlemagne died on January 28, 814, in Aachen, where he had established his capital. He was buried in the Aachen Cathedral, a building he had commissioned, and which became a center of Carolingian art and architecture. His son Louis the Pious succeeded him as emperor. Charlemagne's reign left an enduring legacy in European history. His establishment of a Christian empire in the West laid the foundations for the Holy Roman Empire, which would last until the early 19th century. His efforts to revive learning and culture during the Carolingian Renaissance had a lasting impact on European intellectual life. Charlemagne is often referred to as the father of Europe, for uniting much of the continent and shaping its future. His life and reign became the subject of numerous legends and literary works in the centuries following his death, solidifying his place as one of the most important rulers in Western history.